screen.
Good to go. As Audio's live. Right. I'm hoping you'll hear the intro. Here we
That's
go.
real. Down that was it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kindly?
I think we're just getting started.
Medic! I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Well, we're live anyway.
All right. Hey, thanks for tuning in to episode 769 of the Overseas Connection podcast with a small little hiccup at the start, but that's okay. We're good to go. It's January 28th, 2024. And we're going to bring you some video game goodness. We love to talk about video games. That is the overall binding piece of glue for this podcast. But we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. Life, what's going on, TV shows, entertainment. And then above and beyond that, of course, if you do happen to come across us live, please like, subscribe to either YouTube or Twitch, because we are on both those channels every Sunday. We're out here 8 p.m. in the UK, 12 p.m. in the West Coast, 3 p.m. in the East Coast. And if you're in the Central Time Zone, we're sorry, but you're 2 p.m. All right. My name, Greg DeLacy, Gamertag Murphy's Law, OC_ on Twitter. Yes, I said Twitter, not X. Sorry. I'll never shake that. It's always going to be Twitter. I wouldn't have minded Twitter X even, but Twitter, it's what it is. On the show today, we have fresh in from Ballymena, Ireland, Mr. Robin Tate, a year older on the podcast.
Oh, wow, that's right. I am a year older. I am 55.
Yes.
And I am walking so twisted and turned. I can hardly walk. I've had so much sex over the last week because I'm 55. Birthday sex every day, twice, 3 times a day. Look at my hands. Look at them. Look at the calluses. Thank you very
I had
much.
a feeling. I had
Yeah.
a feeling. Welcome to the show, Robin. Nickel and nickel, double nickels. Love it. Fantastic wine, by the way. If you ever get a chance to drink nickel and nickel, I highly recommend.
Oh, I had
Okay.
that last night.
Also on the show today, Mr. Mark Wright, spinning the decks. Twiggy is here.
Hi, Greg. Hello, everyone. Yeah, back again. Had a week off. Back again.
You sound so happy about it.
No, I'm here.
All right, I'm going to bring the enthusiasm. It is Sunday. It is playoff Sunday. We've got
It's
football
what?
happening. We've got schedules to keep. We've got stuff to talk about. So let's just roll into it. Robin, there's only one birthday we're going to talk about, and that is Mark's mom, or mum, as it is in the notes
Yeah,
here.
get it right,
on-
Greg. Get it right.
On the 30th of January. She is a spry young lady. We will
21.
not give her age. Yes,
21.
21.
21 again.
Out of respect. But we will sing her a birthday song. Do we have a birthday song?
I do, but I don't know if you guys will hear it. Let me give it a try. I might twiddle the wrong knob there.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Did you hear that?
It's your
I heard it. So that's the thing. Even with the intro, Mark, we hear the start of it,
Yeah.
and then it just dies off.
Happy birthday! I don't know why that is.
To you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday. Insert name
Mark's
here.
mom.
Happy birthday to you.
Gentleman is not recognized.
What did we have to insert into Mark's mom? What was that?
I'm not going there. Not going there. Yes. Happy birthday to Miss. Is it Miss Wright?
Mrs.
I'm assuming. Mrs. Yes. Okay. Fantastic. 21 again. Forever 21. She should make a store. Okay. Let's talk story time.
I like Robbie do sound effects.
Hooray, it's story time. Hooray, it's story time. I'm so glad to be with you today.
All right. I'm going to go in reverse order on my screen. So, Robin, let's start off with you. What's been going on in your neck of the woods?
I've been smiling, Greg. I catch myself smiling quite a bit. I'll explain.
Yeah.
So this morning, I shaved. Okay. This beautiful countenance of mine had some stubble on it. And I
Okay.
shaved on a Sunday morning. Now, usually I would shave on a Saturday morning, and that would see me through Sunday. And then before work, I would shave. And I caught myself smiling this morning going, it doesn't matter tomorrow because I don't have to go to work in the same way as I used to. So I catch myself smiling. So that's a difference of change of life. This week, I still have my company vehicle, and my company stuff is getting sorted. And I'm officially working for them still until the 2nd of March. But I think we're all almost sorted with all that stuff. But I've been looking out because I've had to buy a little car, and I had it in my head that I was going to buy a big car. I was going to buy a Jaguar or something biggish, you know,
Right.
an Audi A4, A6, or a Merc. And as I got to thinking, and as I've been whizzing around the last few weeks, I thought, well, I really don't need anything that big. I'm just skipping around, school runs, the odd shop stuff. You know. So I thought to myself, well, I just need something to get myself through the summer. Let's not spend loads of money, but let's go out and have a bit of fun. So I bought myself a little Mini Cooper ragtop.
Okay.
So I went to pick up the kids the day. It was at the other side of town. I got Joshua to drop me into Ballymena when he was on his way to work. Last Wednesday. I went into this lovely coffee shop, had a sausage roll with black pudding in it. It was class. And a cup of coffee. Sat there and watched a little bit of YouTube in the coffee shop, and then walked from Ballymena to a place called Brushian, which is about two and a half miles to where I was going, to the car lot. Judith was saying, well, how are you going to get there? I said, don't worry about me, darling. Don't worry. I walked, and it was class. And I walked, and I smiled. And one of my old staff members called me about halfway through to see how I was getting on. I'm going, every day's a Friday. I'm smiling. I'm on my way to pick up my little ragtop mini, and away we go. So I picked Jasmine and Isabella up in that afternoon. It was barely dry, but the roof had to come down. That's probably why I got the cold. And we were in the little bin with the roof down. And I get into it, and it makes me smile. It's a little go-kart.
Yep, I was going to say, it probably feels like a go-kart.
Yeah, that was me this week, so that was good. That's it. What else? Life is busy. I am extremely busy with work, my own work.
Right.
Judith is in the middle of 2 different projects at the moment with the online store stuff, shops, and
you're now being pulled in as an executive manager.
I had lighting, I had photo shoot. I mean, we had friends over last night, and their friend is one of their partners in one of these 2 business things she's involved with. And they wanted photographs taken, so lighting came in, lights from everywhere, props. And these people usually come over. We have dinner every few Saturday nights and a few drinks. Right. But it was a photo shoot and a business meeting last night. So, so that was So that's all that there stuff's going on. And then, yeah, busy.
Okay.
Good. I watched a little bit of Designated Survivor way back, and I always thought it was a little light, and I started to watch it again there through the week.
Right.
The thing is, there's one night I just had it on, and I must have done a mark. I pegged out on it for about 6 episodes, season 1. I had already watched the first 2 or 3, and I got into it and thought, this is actually quite good. It's not really heavy drama like the other one with a really good White House Kevin Spacey one. It's not as House of Cards, not as deep or as gritty as that, but it's still a good little watch. And I've been enjoying it, so I'm watching a wee bit of that off the side.
We used to watch Designated Survivor. We got into it in the first, I think, 2 seasons, and then I think it transferred off. I forgot who bought it, who took it up. It's probably wherever it is now. Are you watching on Netflix or Amazon?
Yeah.
Netflix, yeah. So I think Netflix took it over. We never got resolution to the series when we were watching it. I believe they kind of bring it to a head and it kind of resolves, but then it continues on. We never quite got there.
Moneymaker. Yeah, well, I'll watch it until it gets completely boring then. Yeah, and that's about it. I mean, there's stuff. I mean, there's more new parts and bits and pieces arrived. Please send help. My 13-year-old son and his 13-year-old friends are at my house. It's so loud. The smell. The smell. Oh, I get it. It's funny. It's live on my last stream on our last big race, Indianapolis, the other night on Thursday, the Warriors Championship. The race was over, and we were reviewing some incidents. Big field, and there's one young buck. We call him Fetus, because he's 17, so we've nicknamed him Fetus.
Fair.
But at one point in the live stream, he still has a live mic, and his father walks in and goes, "Fucking hell, it's fucking stinking. Open a fucking window in here. It's fucking Gentlemen, your mic. So, yeah, teenagers, I get it. My teenagers have got to the point where they shower multiple times a day at this moment in time, and they're starting to, go to the gym 4 days a week. And
paying attention to the body a little bit. All right.
And yeah, I want to look like you, Robin, so they don't say that last bit. Anyway, life's good. Cheers.
All right, good. I love it. All right, Mark, what has been going on with you?
I'm going to Liam.
I finished a couple of TV series. I think you have as well, Greg. Reacher, finished season 2 of Reacher.
So let's talk about this real quickly. I did not realize there was another episode.
Yeah. I knew there would be.
So the thing was, in my head, I had seen 8 episodes because they have an episode 0.
Right.
And so I was like,
recap?
Yeah, it was basically the recap episode. But I was like, in my head, I'm like, I know I've seen 8 episodes. So not a cliffhanger. They do wrap things up.
Yeah.
Which was nice. I was happy about that. What overall thoughts and impressions? Reacher, season 2.
I enjoyed it. It was good. It didn't have that impact the first season did.
Yeah.
The last episode had a lot of action in it and kind of predictable in ways. There were a few little twists, but yeah, pretty predictable. But yeah, still enjoyable. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think that was. I think we're all in agreement. I think Robin, you're right there with us on this. That the acting was or lack of acting chops was more noticeable season 2 because it wasn't fresh. Like we kind of looked past it, the first season because it was like, wow, this is exciting. It's something different. This go around, I was kind of like, and then the finale. I totally agree with you, Mark.
Yeah, well, even
very predictable.
Even Robert Patrick, Terminator dude, even he seemed a bit wooden. It didn't seem the badass it could be.
Okay. So let's think about his character in Terminator. It
Right.
was pretty wooden.
No, it was metal.
True. He didn't have a lot of speaking parts. In fact, I don't think he spoke once in Terminator.
No,
He did, yeah.
Did he?
Nice bike.
Okay.
That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It did a movie called The Faculty. That was quite good.
Yeah,
I think
it's funny that the actors in the program has been taking a lot of crap because it's pretty much straight action, no
right.
agenda, just about good and honor and stuff like that, and that's fine. But that's great. Stay away from everything else that's going on in the world right now. There's enough of that crap going on.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Oh, yeah. There's one thing that really annoyed me. I meant to put it in the notes, but we'll get to it at the end because it's in the same vein.
Well, I will say this. I think the acting really is what stands out for me. Also, I should say some of the direction, or maybe it's the writing, because it very much had a predictable arc towards the latter part, and I think the show could really do with some better writing. Maybe that is really what it boils down to. I think some better writing in terms of the twists and plots, as well as just kind of making things a little bit more believable, would be good. And I think for me, I have these high expectations with, from the previous Reacher movies. Tom Cruise did a really good job in those movies, even though from a stature standpoint, he wasn't necessarily the most believable, but they do a good job of kind of filming that properly. So you have that kind of sitting in the back of your head. So you want that depth of character in this, but it's a fun watch. I don't think you're gonna be like, oh my god, I cannot wait for season 3. When season 3 rolls around, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna be like pining for it. Yeah.
One thing, I seen a trailer last night, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and it was a trailer for Roadhouse.
Oh yeah, they remade it, haven't they?
They're remaking Roadhouse. Tragic.
Remake. And you watch the trailer, and it shows, the bit where he first goes to the Roadhouse, and the blind guy's playing in the band, and they throw the bottles at the fence. Well, there's that there,
right?
But yes, there's boats in this one, and even in the trailer, it was bad CGI. I'm going, why have you done this? This is such an epic movie. And they wouldn't make it the same way now because there's some sexy scenes in it that they just wouldn't do. Maybe it's too violent. Maybe there's boobies, too many boobies. But they'll never top that. They should, the next thing, what are they going to make another Point Break? Or
they did do, didn't they? I thought they did.
I'm sure they. Yeah,
they did, but it was shocking.
Yeah, and when they, I think there's in the trailer, it's from the makers of something, and as soon as anybody says from the makers of anything, it has to stand.
Yeah. All it'd be is a producer who's on that other movie, and they just like front the money, or they don't really. Yeah.
Anyway,
if they ever remake Heat, that would piss me off because Heat is a classic movie.
Yeah. I think I can safely predict Roadhouse. The remake of Roadhouse will flop.
It's like they did that remake, well, not remake, but they did a Ghostbusters with women, and this isn't sexist at all, but it was absolutely terrible.
It was trash.
But Afterlife was good.
But that's what I say. The one with the kids was good.
Right.
So bro. Anyway.
So okay. What about Gen V?
So I think, did I mention this last time I was on?
You said you were just getting ready to start watching.
So
it.
I love The Boys, and in preparation for season 4, we started watching Gen V, which is like a spin-off. And these are sort of like kids who their parents injected them with a compound V, and they've developed powers, and they go to this university to harness the powers, and Voight like watches them and like keeps an eye on them to see who can be in the tower, the Seven.
Right.
Jesus Christ, it's got the same graphic rudeness as The Boys.
Right.
It's just insane. Remember Termite in The Boys? Yes. Well, it's not the same thing, but there's a lass in this who can go small, and she does certain things with a boy's anatomy. It's just incredible. That's the first episode. Me and my wife just sat at the TV going, "What is this really happening?" It's insane. But yes, it's got quite a decent storyline. The character's really good. I liked them. There's some good acting for young kids. And there's some really good tie-ins with The Boys. So do you know in The Boys? I don't want to spoil it, but do you know the head popper?
Yes,
she's in this, and it gives you some backstory, right?
Yep.
So that's really cool. Homelander makes an appearance in the last episode, which is insane.
But I like that though. They tie it in nicely, so it's a universe now. As opposed to
absolutely. Okay. Yeah, so I'm hoping in The Boys season 4 you might see some of these kids possibly. I don't know. So yeah, very good, very good. Like I saw this advertised on. Well, I saw it on the sort of like front page of Amazon, and I didn't really think much of it. But Womble put in one of our WhatsApp chats to give it a watch, and I watched it and I thought, oh my god, it's spot on. It's so good. So yeah, if you like badass superhero shit with a naughty twist, you gotta watch this. It's so good. So
that sums it up nicely. I think that that should be in their promo.
Yeah, but yeah, apart from some TV, I've just been like working hard and getting home knackered, so not really done much apart from video games. And I've been hooked on 2 games like Crack Cocaine. But I'll go into that in a bit.
Shortly.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, I guess that leaves me. So up and back from Reno again. I went and visited my mom early last week, and just continued to work on trying to fix things for her and get things squared away. Most of all the legal paperwork stuff now done. A couple little bits and bobs left to deal with, but overall, it seems to be moving in the right direction. So outside of Reacher, I did catch a couple different shows. So I'll just start with Rebel Moon.
Yeah, you finally seen Rebel Moon. What did you think?
I finally saw Rebel Moon. I get where the critics were harsh on this movie.
It's watchable though, isn't it? It's not terrible.
Watchable. It's watchable. I think so. Here is my interesting takeaway though from Rebel Moon, and this is gonna sound overly harsh. It's not a horrible movie, but as I was watching it, I was just the realization was there's not a lot of originality to that movie.
No,
the story more or less.
It was originally supposed to be a Star Wars part in the Star Wars universe, but they wouldn't let him, would they? So he had to adapt it. So I think that's why you were supposed to have familiarity, but he couldn't do it. Jack Schneider. So,
well, I don't know about all of that. All I know is when I watched Rebel Moon, as I was taking in the plot, it basically, if you know the plot of The Dirty Dozen, you kind of know the plot of Rebel Moon.
Right.
So I was kind of like, okay.
Is that not all of the Star Wars movies? They're all based on Westerns.
Yeah. And this one also just really embraced that Western thing, because everything feels like it's just a Western. You have the Native American Indian Tonto character within it. You've got all of the characters that more or less look like they're straight out of the Wild West, except for they're in space-ish, but they still ride horses that just have like little skull things put over their faces. By the way, that was just odd to me. Yeah. And I just laughed a little bit sometimes because, again, and this is one of those. This is not alone with Rebel Moon. Other space movies suffer from these kinds of things. Especially when they try and do that crossover of having like a space Western. Little dumb things like communication devices. I'm watching in the movie. At one point, there's a character on the deck of a landing area. I don't want to spoil anything, but he's shouting at pilots inside their spaceships, even though they have one guy has the canopy pulled back on it. The spaceships are hovering in a good 100 to 200 feet away from him. The engines are all firing because they're up floating in the air. And I'm like, wouldn't you just use a radio to tell them what to do?
Like, it always amazes
Instead-
me. You've got all these like planets with like space, all this technology. We've got the technology to fly
Right.
from planet to planet, and yet they live in like little huts, and it looks like they're in
Also,
medieval
yeah.
times. You know what I mean? There's no technology, no like doors and.
And that's what made me like not necessarily like I couldn't buy into the universe because of those very things.
Okay. Boomer says it exactly. Firefly did space westerns right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Correct.
It was good.
Firefly did do space westerns right.
Rich was shiny, dirty tech for everybody else. Yeah.
I'll tell you
Yeah.
one thing though. I preferred Rebel Moon over The Creator. We watched The Creator a few months
Yes.
back. My mum says, "Oh, it's really good, that, isn't it?" And I thought it was shocking, man. I was so disappointed. I was wanting to watch The Creator so much. I had so much hope for it, and it let me down big time.
Yeah. I took Cindy to that in the movie theater, and I paid the price for that because she would not let me. To this day, she's like, "Is this going to be like that movie you took me to?" It was horrible. The other movie I caught was I finally watched the new Mario movie.
I've not seen that yet.
Very good. Brilliant.
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm just not a Mario
That's-
guy.
Yeah. As a gaming movie, it's good.
It's fun. It's fun. And then lastly, I've been watching. So Amazon has a series called All or Nothing, and a lot of it revolves around both NFL pro football, and I think they do it for soccer football for the UK. They follow different teams through a course of a season.
Okay.
But I've been watching All or Nothing, the Michigan Wolverines season, and it's just really good. Interesting insights into these teams and the players and what they go through. And this is an interesting insight into the college side of things because you don't get to see a lot of insight in college teams typically. It's always the pro teams. It's the guys that are already making the money that you have these series wrapped around.
Yeah.
So it's been a fun watch. Definitely enjoying it. Anyway, that's it. That's it for me. And I think that's it for us for now for story time.
Shall we play a game?
I want to play a game.
You are one pathetic loser. All right.
Look at what's behind you. Is that a bed?
It is a bed. Yes.
Is that what you mean, a naughty boy? You go to?
No. We one story I didn't tell was we ended up having our sitter come Friday night and then Saturday afternoon to watch Colin, so we could go wine tasting with some friends. So Saturday night we went and actually, now that I think about it, I forgot a movie. We went and saw the movie Boys in a Boat. Fantastic movie, really good. It's basically retelling the tale of the Minnesota. I don't think they were Gophers at the time, but basically University of Minnesota rowing crew and their JV team, and basically the story of that team and how they made it to the 39 Olympics, I think, the ones that were held with Jesse Owens in Germany with Hitler there. Fantastic. Highly recommend. So he was there Friday night to watch Colin, and then we were going wine tasting on Saturday, and so we had him stay through the night, and then the next day he basically watched Colin in the morning and afternoon. So we have a spare bed. It's like, think of it like a Murphy bed. It folds up into a cabinet that sits up on the wall, but we can extend it out, and yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, okay, let's talk games. Robin, you're going to go first because then Mark and I are just going to talk for a while.
So you want to do the February freebies?
Yes, we can do the February freebies. Sorry, I saw January there, so I was like,
I
did they
know.
not
Sorry, I
get updated?
forgot to change the name, but
That's all right.
I did put it in the WhatsApp group. I'd update it.
Okay, for PlayStation Plus, you get Evil Dead the game, Ollie Ollie World, Destiny 2 Beyond Light, and Mafia, the definitive edition.
Which
but
is
without the
awesome.
final-
That definitive edition Mafia is brilliant.
That's a good game.
Amazon Prime, for January, you get Star Wars, Jedi, Fallen Order, Total War, Warhammer, World War Z, Aftermath, 2 Point Hospital. But this is like a fills list. WRC 7 FIA World Rally Championship, Abandoned Ship, In Other Waters, Paper Beast, Folded Edition, Fahrenheit, Indigo, Prophecy Remasters. And in the Epic Game Store in January into February, you have Infinifactory and Doors Paradox. And those are your sort of free games.
All right. Sort of free games.
So
Some good ones.
I showed you off my fancy HyperX P1 wheel. It is now in. I had a mess with its position. I actually hurt my back because it was too high. And the fitting kit was sent incorrectly. It was the wrong thing, but it arrived properly. The bits that I needed on Thursday got it all fitted. Sorry, on Friday. Fitted on Friday evening, very late. And looking forward to on tonight's racing to see it because it's now in the right position. It was sitting about 6 inches too high. On my seat bust as well, the side of the the lumbar bits on the side of your thighs, and
What's that saying?
Snapped. I know. I contacted GT Omega and they're sending me a complete new seat out. So good for them.
I heard it's actually a new seat in Diet Book.
It's still coming off, Greg. It's still coming off. Red Bull, you should see the workout that friggin' thing gives me. I will give you an Apple Watch. Let's look at Thursday here. Thursday, Friday. Thursday, I was streaming on Friday. So that's streaming from 9:15 until 2:15 in the afternoon, I believe it was. And it's 1,626 calories burnt out of a 700 calorie thing, and 247 minutes of exercise. Then that's these boys getting it in the arms and the left leg, not the right leg, the accelerator leg, but it's it's a bloody workout. It's a couple of showers a day. Anyway, so just at the end of last week, there was some new content right for Assetto Corsa Competizione, which was the Red Bull Ring, which is in Austria, and the LFM have changed their schedule. So I'll be racing on it all day tomorrow and all day Wednesday. So and then last Thursday evening, we had their second round of the Warriors Championship. It was fantastic. There was nearly 40 cars on the grid. My race was pants. I qualified in second, a fantastic second, really good against some of our old fast guys, and then got demolished in the first couple of laps and finished 30th, I think it was, overall. But it was, again, a spectacle of a night, really, really good, a really good turnout. And then tonight at 9:30, we have Bongo Roulette, which is 3 random sprint races, chosen at random by my Wheels of Fortune, and away we go. A great way to get to know us all, and it's all a bit of fun tonight, casual. So streaming tomorrow, streaming Wednesday, racing Thursday night, practice Tuesday night, and it's a schedule now. It's a schedule, right. And I publish a schedule. Saying that, I won't be doing any racing.
A
schedule, because the whole Assetto Corsa, I've just been notified there that all of the servers are down and have been for the last hour. So we'll just keep an eye on that. So that's me. More race. Having fun.
All right, Mark. That leaves us to talk about one game in particular, but you have others on the list, so let's get those out of the way. One in particular I want to talk about because it's on my list of exploration. So go forward, please.
Right. So not this Friday, just gone, because we didn't have a Friday night session this Friday because a lot of people couldn't make it, and I was too busy with 2 fucking crack games, to be honest. But the Friday before, we had a pretty good turnout, and we played the Finals, which is a free-to-play game on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. We actually played it on PC. It was me, Snoogers, and Jay. So this is a first-person shooter in like an arena, and you have teams of 3, and the object of the game is to get money and then bank it into these deposit areas. But people obviously, the other teams will be shooting you and nicking that money off you. And there's different classes. There's a light class, medium class, and a heavy class. And at first, I was struggling with the medium class and the light class, so I started playing as a heavy. Typical, because I'm heavy anyway. But I tended to sort of like get to grips with that better. You had a big machine gun with 100 bullets. You're more tanky, so you can take more damage.
Right.
And it seemed to work well. Jay played as a light, so he was running around really fast everywhere. And Rob Snoogans was the medium, so it worked well because we were all different classes and we all helped each other. The medium class has got a healing gun, so he can run behind you and heal you with his beam. So I was at the front shooting everyone, being the tank. Rob was behind me, healing me, and Jay was just running around nicking all the money. So it worked quite well. We actually won quite a few games. It was really cool. It's a little bit too fast paced for me. I don't really get on with Twitch shooters, but it wasn't as bad as Call of Duty or anything. But it's quite fun, quite enjoyable. All the environments are totally destructible. You can destroy the houses completely. So there's a lot of fun.
That's the part that kind of excites me. It seems like it has a little bit of that, the old Battlefield flavor.
Yeah.
When you had the close quarters.
Yeah. So a lot of fun. So if people want to play it again, just pop on our Discord and put it in the we call it Fatal Fridays now, thanks to Greg with the Lethal Friday thing. So I thought Fatal Fridays has got more of a ring to it. So just pop it in there if you want to request playing the finals, and we'll play that. We'll play any shooter really, PUBG, the finals, Fortnite, anything really, whatever people want. And talking of PUBG, after we played the finals, we actually jumped on PUBG, and we did PUBG PC, big boy PUBG. And that was a different kettle of fish, shall we say. I thought I had a video lined up, but I don't have a video. I did some recording of it, and I did post it on our YouTube. I just haven't got it lined up. So I found it not as hard as I thought I would do, because I know there's a lot of hardcore PC PUBG players on there now, and people like me, they'll just eat me for breakfast. But I didn't do too bad. I got a few kills, which I'm happy with. We did the introductory easy games to start with, the bots, casual games. So we did them, but then we went into full matches. And we held our own. We did quite well. We got a few chicken dinners. It was a lot of fun. And now, the thing you do notice with the PC version is it looks more richer than the console ones. The colours are better. There's not as much pop-in, texture loading. You got more draw distance. So,
they spent a lot more time, I think, optimizing that version of the game on top of it all.
Yeah, so you do notice a difference to the console one. I do love the console version. We've played many hours of that together, haven't we, Greg? But the PC one, it's good. I think Jay's fully back into PUBG PC now as well. So he plays first person though. We tried first person mode.
I can't do it.
It's too hard.
Yeah,
it's really hard. So good fun that Friday night. I think we played from 8 o'clock till about 11:30 at night. So it was a good session, really good session. I felt a bit bad for Martin though. Martin was in the Discord chat, but it was sorting his kids out. And the finals, you could only play with 3 players.
Right.
But it did pop on for. Oh no, it wasn't mine. It was Gunslinger. Gunslinger joined us for PUBG PC later on. So we had a 4-man squad. Tom Gunslinger, who's part of our community, he's played on console like us, but he hasn't really played the PC version, so he struggled a little bit. But he held his own, and we helped him out on that, and we had some good fun. Like I say, we got a couple of wins. So very good fun. So
excellent.
Friday nights, hit me up. We'll get some shooty bang bang.
All right, Fatal Fridays. I like the name. That name. That sticks.
Yeah. So I'll talk about one game first, and then we'll talk about the one we've both played together. If you want, Greg.
Right.
So 2 games have come out in the past 2 weeks, which are my sort of like game. They are open world, survival, looty, collecting, survival, exploration, and crafting. Right. One of them is serious. The other one has Pokemon. So we'll talk about the serious one first, which is Enshrouded. Let me get a video lined up. So Enshrouded only came out, I think it was Thursday. Mr. Defo, Gary DeFelice, He has been on about this game for weeks now, saying, "Oh, it's going to be so good! It's going to be so good! You're going to have to get it! You're going to have to get it!" And it's in early access, like Palworld. So it's nice and cheap. It's only £24, so it's not a breaking the bank scenario.
Right. I'm assuming you're playing this on PC?
Yeah, PC, yeah. Yeah, this one isn't on console yet, unlike Palworld.
Right.
So this is like I said, a crafting open world survival game. And you are called Flameborn. And you have this shrine altar what you build, and then you build your base around that, and you can expand your base and make it bigger and bigger. And you unlock different NPCs what you have to rescue, and they allow even more crafting. It's the usual thing where you can build a little thing, and then that opens up a new path. And to build another thing, you need these other things to build a bigger thing, if you know what I mean.
Right.
It's like a massive step ladder going up and up. But it's really addictive. It's a beautiful world. It
looks nice.
Yeah, it's quite tough. It's not an easy game. There's no difficulty, and it is quite hard. Unlike Palworld, where that's a lot easier and the leveling's a lot faster. The leveling in this is quite slow, but it is rewarding and it feels right for the game. If you leveled up too quick, you'd run out of steam in it, I think. Now, the reason it's called Enshrouded is part of the world is in a shroud, so it's like a greyish fog, and when you're in there you have a certain time limit before you die. So when you first start the game you get 4 minutes, but as you upgrade your altar you get more time, so I think I've got 6 minutes in there now. So when you're in the shroud there's different monsters, it's a completely different atmosphere, really ominous and dark, and you can hardly see in front of you because of this fog. But the rewards are greater, as you'd expect. Now, there are certain parts of a shroud which are red, and if you go in there, within 5 seconds, you're dead.
You're dead.
So, you avoid them. But I think they have these, I've only found one so far, they have these things called shroud roots, and if you destroy them, the red bit goes.
Okay.
So there is options to expand it.
The
crafting's really good. The variety of weapons you can get is pretty decent for the early access. It's not amazingly like massive list of games, but you can upgrade your weapons with collecting runes. So some enemies drop runes, and you can salvage weapons for runes to upgrade your weapons. The character you have, right? This is a good thing about this game, and not a lot of games do this. So my character in my solo game, I can take into the multiplayer. He's the same level.
Very cool.
I can carry my materials.
So what you get in
and
multiplayer,
weapons.
you get in heap.
So I can take my stuff into another world, and I can bring stuff back, which is great. So
if you die in multiplayer,
right? So what happens? So what happens if you die in any world? You will drop all your stuff. It's like Dark Souls,
right?
But you don't drop your weapons and your essential gear, so your armor, your weapons. So you don't drop them, which is good. But you drop all your materials you've collected, which can be frustrating at times because there's been many times I've been hunting for certain things to build a certain item or to upgrade an item, and I've died and I've had to
so
find
you drop
my way
all your stuff. Can you get back to it and fetch it?
You can.
Okay.
So when you die, you leave a little tombstone which has got like an orange glow on it, and it's shown on the map. And if you can get back to that, you can recover your stuff, and you can die more than once and still get back to it, which is good. Unlike Dark Souls, if you die twice, it's gone forever. But this is a bit more forgiving, so you can recover it. But yeah, so Gary has rented a server, so if anybody is wanting Enshrouded or they play Enshrouded, hit up the Real Defo. He's on our Discord. He has rented a server. He's got an 8-player capacity. It's passworded, so if you look on our Discord, it's got all the details to get in there. We've got quite a nice base going there now. We've started a build going on. We've collected all the NPC characters to do all the upgrades. So I keep flitting between the two. When Gary's on, Duke's on it. Duke's been playing it with us and Sumu. So there's been 4 of us on today. So when the guys are on, I'll jump on the server and do my stuff. And then when they're not, I'll just go on my solo. The only downside to the server, to the multiplayer, is the quests. If someone completes a quest on the server, that quest is
completed
done.
for
It's
everybody.
done for everyone.
Yeah.
So, say we've been playing it for like 40 hours, and a new player comes along and joins our server. All them early quests are all gone. But
Yeah,
the
okay.
advantage is you've got your same character. You can do it on your solo game. So,
Okay. All right. So Enshrouded. There you go.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about Pal World.
Pal World. Right, yeah. So,
This is a game I did not think I would play.
oh, man.
A game I'm pretty sure you did not think you would play.
No. So, I got a WhatsApp message from my lad, Jay, on the Friday it came out, saying, have you seen this? Have you seen this? We've got to get this. We've got to get this. I says, what is it? It says it's Pokemon with guns. I says, what? It says it's Pokemon with guns. So, yeah, this is, again, a survival, crafting, base building game with combat and with Pokemon, but not Pokemon. They're called pals.
Right.
They
They're
are
very
unofficial.
they're very close to the actual
Yeah.
Pokemon you see in,
Yeah.
in other games. And to put it in proper context, it has the ability to have guns. You have to upgrade that path.
Yeah, when you get higher level, you get guns. Yeah, I've got guns.
Right. But
I've only got basic guns. Jay's got an assault rifle. He's level cap
Yeah.
50. He's at
well,
50
the
already.
technology, there's a technology tree, if you will, or
Yeah.
or things that you unlock as you
Yeah.
go. And so as you level up, as you unlock more recipes, that kind of thing, all of these things start to open up. So you start off with a club.
Yeah.
And it's very rudimentary. Then you get a bow and arrow. Then you can upgrade to like a fire bow and arrow, and you can build houses. So I have built myself a little house.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of Valheim in terms of the
Yeah.
how you
Well,
build things.
A lot of people are saying Enshrouded is like Valheim. So,
Okay, interesting.
but I've got Valheim, but I never really got into it.
Yeah. So back to Pal World. The difference being here, of course, is that you can capture these Pokemon creatures.
Yeah.
And then they become kind of an army that you can basically utilize, not only to attack other
No,
creatures,
yeah, you've
but
got two options.
to build.
Yeah, you've got
Yeah.
two options. You can either put them in your base, and they will do tasks. So each different pal has got different characteristics, and if you look, we've all got little icons. So one's got a garden icon, one's got a mining icon, one's got a lumberjack icon, and you can set them to work, and they'll start mining and chopping down trees. Some of the other ones, like the cats, will transport the goods. If you've got a locker, they will take the mined items to
That's
the locker.
what I need at the
Yeah,
moment. I need to kill a cat.
The
or
sheep,
capture
and
a cat.
the sheep and the cats are good for that at low level.
Okay.
Like you say, as you level up, when you go in the menu screen, each level has about 6 or 7 different things you unlock, recipes or things you can craft or abilities, and you can craft items for your pals as well. So you can craft. So for the flying ones, you can craft a saddle. I mean, you can fly with it. You can fly it around the map, and it's amazing.
Okay.
The Nightwing with a saddle, it's a game changer.
All right.
Yeah, don't kill the
Okay.
cats, Greg.
I do kill. I have killed a lot of cats.
Yeah. But you can get, there's a little monkey. Have you seen the monkey, the lift monk? You
I
can,
have not
you
seen
can
that,
get
no.
that. You can get a machine gun for that. That is amazing.
All right.
The fire breathing fox, you can get harness, so you can hip fire the fox like a like a flamethrower. Oh, it's just bonkers, but so good.
It's fun. It is. It's survival light is the way I like to call it, because it doesn't
It's
feel
not as
overly harsh.
Yeah, it's not like Enshrouded where
Right.
it's like fight or die. This you got more of a chance in Pal World. It's more forgiving, but it's a
agreed.
lot more fun. The pals as well. When you want to catch them, you can't just throw the sphere. They don't call them Pokeballs, call them spheres. There's different levels of spheres as well. There's a basic, mega, bigger, and a hyper for the bigger ones. So you throw the sphere at it, but you've got a very low chance of catching one. What you have to do, you have to attack it, reduce its health
Wound
down.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then throw it. I mean, you'll see a percentage thing going around the sphere, and then you've got a good chance of catching it.
And I had a situation happen where I basically knocked one over, and it was like dazed, and I'm like, okay, I threw my ball at it, and before the ball completed capturing it, it escaped.
Right.
So I was like, oh, okay. But no, Pal World, it's great. Very much enjoying it. It's on Game Pass. It is on Steam.
Yeah.
It is doing big numbers right now, from my understanding.
Oh,
It is very, very popular.
In its first week, it sold 7
Yeah.
million on Steam. It was the highest concurrent player game on Steam that week.
Yeah. So
and it's free on Game Pass as well, and so people are still buying it.
I'd recommend it. I mean, it is a fun iteration of Pokemon.
Yeah, there's 111 different pals to collect, so it'll keep you going for a long time.
Got to catch them all.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, anything else, Mark, before we move on?
No, those two games have just absolutely
they're
over.
kind of crack.
They've taken over my last 2 weeks. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Awesome. We have one news story to talk about, so let's hit the news queue.
Here is the fucking news.
Robin?
Kind of sad news this week. Microsoft has cutting 1,900 staff right across Bethesda and Activision Blizzard. In a message sent to staff obtained by IGN, Spencer said Microsoft would provide full support for those who are being kicked out the door or who are being impacted during the transition, including severance benefits informed by local employment laws. Yeah, I'm sure they will. According to the exec, the decision has been made after Microsoft and Activision Blizzard's leadership teams set priorities, identified areas of overlap, and ensured that we are all aligned for the best opportunities for growth. This was always going to happen. It happened with my old company.
Yes.
And it's this thing here.
This was absolutely 100% going to happen. I think people are a little bit shocked at how big the layoffs are, but I think part of it is actually because I think they expanded a little bit of the scope of not just the overlap of Activision and Microsoft.
Hey, look, let's have a look at Twitter.
I don't want to look at Twitter. No, don't look at Twitter.
No, what Elon did.
Oh, yeah.
He wiped out all the fat.
Yeah.
So
and so to this on that second page, along with Mike Ybarra apparently is now leaving Blizzard after he left Microsoft to go to Blizzard, goes to Blizzard. Microsoft buys Blizzard. Now he's leaving Blizzard. But they also two things. One, the physical media team has also been laid off.
Yeah.
So Microsoft is now 100% going to go all digital moving forward. That is, I think, much to the chagrin of some people that like those physical editions of games. But and a lot of people are like being a bit, I think, harsh towards Microsoft because honestly, when's the last time you bought a physical game from Steam?
That's funny when we get to our predictions.
Yeah.
That's that note that I wrote last week and kept here just in case.
But then also the previously announced survival game that Blizzard had been working on, that was also canned. This was being helmed by the former Ubisoft guy, Dan Hay. So he of course, fame of Far Cry. So change happens. Unfortunately, some people have been impacted. We certainly hope everybody lands on their feet. Maybe they get Infinite Fridays as well.
If they're as good, if they're good enough, they'll land on their feet. Sorry, that's
there
just
you
the
go.
way it is, you have to have your worth. So that's sad news, and hopefully they do because it's a very stressful time. And not all of them will be as lucky as me. Okay, what we're going to do. Last week we went through predictions that we put in last year, and some of them we were pretty close, and some of them, mostly Greg's, were completely off the mark.
Oh, mine were horrible last year. Yeah, I fully admit to it.
I don't have any predictions from last year, but he has predictions for this year, Mark. And because you weren't there last year, let's start and see what you can be embarrassed about next year.
Yeah. So my first prediction is that Sony will copy Microsoft's lead and they will block all third-party non-official peripherals. This is mainly to help stamp out cheating. So recently, Microsoft has blocked all third-party peripherals which are not officially licensed. So it's to stop like the Cronus, rapid-fire, illegal, well not illegal, but sort of like third-party rapid-fire pads, which you get an unfair advantage in multiplayer games. So I think it's more of a want than a need, but I think it may happen because I think Sony will take that lead by Microsoft. My second prediction is Phil Spencer leaves Xbox.
Okay.
I think
That's,
with
that's
all
a,
the
that's a big one.
yeah,
That's
I think
a big
with
one.
all the sort of like acquisition, all the
Easy for you to
all the
say.
purchases, acquisitions. There we go, and all the just different changes. I think he's gonna semi-retire and leave.
Wow. Okay, that would be massive news. in
I
the
kept saying for
gaming
years
industry.
that Major Nelson were going to leave, and he finally did.
Well, you say it long enough. That is one
exactly,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And my final sort of like serious prediction is, and I think this is quite like a nailed on one. The Switch 2 over the predecessor, not the predecessor, the successor to the Switch will be announced with hopefully a holiday 2024 release window. So yeah, I think there's going to be another Switch coming out.
That definitely has a good chance of working for sure.
Yeah. And my sort of like comedic one is Joysticks and Chill might release one more podcast in 2024, making it a biannual event. Because I don't
So
know
they've
if
already
you heard.
released one.
Yeah, shock horror. They released a podcast last week. First one since May
Now,
last year.
Here's the dilemma, Mark. If they release more than one podcast this year, your prediction is out the door.
Yeah, but this is a joke when it doesn't count. But
No, this counts, Mark. This
All right,
totally
okay.
counts.
But
We're
this-
holding your feet to the fire on this.
yeah, but this is a double-edged sword. It's a win-win for me because if I lose, that means I get 2 podcasts this year, not one. I get
then
an
have you
extra
listened to the
episode to
Joystick-
listen to.
Have you listened to Joysticks and Chills? I mean, it could be a lose-lose.
I know, I like the guy. I like listening to him.
I jest. We love
yeah.
those guys.
Like their audio on this last one was shocking. Like, and Jay messaged me and said, "Yeah, he knows it was shocking. It took him hours to try and clean it up, but they were having technical difficulties, like we all do. Like I did at the start of this one. But yeah, it's
I
a
say
challenge.
Nintendo might go even further than that, rather than Switch 2. I think that is inevitable, yes, because it's been so successful. But I could see them going even further with something really groundbreaking. I know there's been all this talk with TV integration, stuff like that there, but I could see them having this.
You don't think we're going to go into VR or anything, do you?
I think that's coming. I think
they did do their VR thing, the stupid box, remember?
Yeah.
The cardboard box.
Oh,
VR.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Well, I just nobody's quite got the whole TV integration properly right. I mean, we've seen CES over the last week and some of the fantastic stuff that's there, and the transparent TVs, and how hard is it now? I mean, the hardware to include a switch inside a TV can't. The bits, you don't need the screen, you just need the operating bit and do everything without physical media. That's has to be so close. It must be so cheap to do that now. I think that's coming, and I think they could shock the world with that, something like that.
All right. Well, real quickly, I'm gonna walk through Kim's, and then we'll have you go, Robin, for sake of time.
Yeah.
Okay. Kim has said every game I'm looking forward to will be delayed again. Strong possibilities for this.
I've got another one. Every game Kim buys will go on Game Pass.
yeah. I think that is but that's not a prediction, Mark. This is
that's
historic.
Real life.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Kim says we will get a release date for Dragon Age, and I think it will be around holidays or early part of 2025. So either holiday 2024, or we'll say we're going to put this first quarter 2025 because it's a bit nebulous. Kim
Bethesda might have struggled with the staff.
People will quit saying Xbox has no games. Yeah, that's her prediction. I don't necessarily think that will happen. And then Series 3 Elite this year. She says
the controller.
She covers herself. Kim does a lot of covering her ass with
this
her
year.
predictions.
I mean,
maybe.
Yeah.
No maybes about it, Kim. You are locked in on this.
Confidence.
By the way, Kim, feel better. She had an allergic reaction to some
yeah,
medication. That's why she's not on the show today.
She looks like Quasimodo. Really, she does.
I didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
When I
Looks like
saw
she's
that
gone-
picture, though, I was like,
Face is like.
Looks like she's
yeah.
gone 10 rounds with Mike Tyson, doesn't it?
yeah, that's actually what I was thinking. Kim said the wrong thing to Mike Tyson about his tiger. All right, Robin, let's hear your predictions.
All right, we already sort of touched on it, and it's funny because I did write these down last week and I stuck it on my desk. So there, these 3 things that I wanted to talk about, but ran out of time. Physical media is dead. dead. It is dead.
Now that's bold, a bold prediction, just because that encapsulates not just Microsoft, not just PC, but Sony and Nintendo.
Disc-based, yeah, maybe not cartridges for Nintendo. Well, that's a separate sort of issue, because that's a kid.
That is a physical media. I'm just saying, you've planted your flag firmly.
But disc-based media will be less than 10% of the market.
Oh no, you said dead.
That's dead. Who would go into a business like that? But it raises lots of questions for people, not only for game media, but for DVDs and Blu-rays, for the smelly shops that are out there in the UK, the CEXs, who 80% of their shop is taken over to physical media. And that is, what are they going to do? It's all secondhand stuff. They're pawn shops. But the majority of their store is taken up by green boxes. I think one more year and year after that, they'll turn into.
I mean, it's definitely trending that way.
It'll turn into
how long it takes it to actually get into the coffin and close the lid. That's the question.
The only way that physical media in a disc format, whatever way it may be, will survive will be in special editions with vinyl records and all that sort of stuff. I think that's the only way it'll survive.
My Series X, I've had it from, not at launch because we couldn't get one, but I've had it a long time. It has never had a disc put in it.
I put DVDs into mine. I play movies through mine. That was the whole reason why I wanted the disc version.
Yeah.
Okay, so Robin, your next prediction.
Okay, I think VR has been with us for a while, and it came and everybody bought one, and then it was all gone. But the technology has moved on massively over the last year. I mean, the quality now of the Quest 3 is fabulous. There's some new ones that have come out there that you don't even really need to have the headset in a sweet spot anymore. It's called pancake glass, so you can be kind of sitting all over the place, but it's still as crisp as anything. So that's not going away, that VR. In my industry and now in sim racing, it's a massive thing. That's on flight simulators and all that stuff. But I think that the other part, which it's going to infiltrate our lives without us even really realizing it, is AR.
Yeah.
And again, not just CES, but over the last while, you're going to have glasses already that are there. Ray-Ban, the Meta smart glasses that came out, they look really good. They look like a pair. You two styles. Your Ray-Ban aviators, and there's classic nerd style glasses like these here with tiny little cameras in, with multiple microphones and speakers in the arms, who you can access your smart virtual assistants and all of that, and they can play music on it and you can record and take a photograph, and the quality is there. But I think stuff like that's how it will happen, that you'll start to get glasses automatically. I'm going to put you into a corner a little bit on this, and it's only because I do think there's a little bit of blending of what you're talking about, which is technology advances with Bluetooth technology and connectivity. Yeah.
So the connectivity of having, glasses that can play your audio and you can hear your virtual assistant with microphones is very different than having glasses that actually have an overlay that you're seeing through.
But what I'm saying, that's how it will infiltrate.
Okay.
That's how it'll be tailored over. It's going to start with that.
I think you're spot on with
all of a sudden you'll get a little. We've now CES, the transparent screens,
right?
That technology will be there. A little tiny part of your eye will have a little tiny thing, whether it be an incoming call from, rather than wondering who it is.
The Quest 3 has got AR technology, hasn't it? Because it's got cameras on now. So with the Quest 3, you can actually, the cameras will project what you see onto the lens, but then add enemies on it, so you can be shooting aliens in your fucking bathroom and shit.
And even my headset, my virtual set, you could do that as well. You could have stuff running in your room, and you can shoot it in your room. But I'm talking about glasses that don't look like.
Yeah,
so you're not wearing things in the toilet all the time. For the record, I don't need glasses to do that.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Well, but I think that's going to be a thing that's going to infiltrate slowly and quietly, and that'll be acceptable because Well, it's just the thing. You think about it now. We can be driving along in the car, and I can go, "Hey, send a message to Greg." How do you want to send that? Do you want to send a text or WhatsApp?
Right.
A WhatsApp, and I can give you a message. Away it goes. Boink. It's done.
I think artificial intelligence and connectivity are definitely a pathway for VR, potentially AR for sure, because I think augmented reality really is the ideal spot for this kind of tech, as opposed to VR. I'm not so keen on, and I'm not so certain VR is going to become mainstream. I think it will remain more niche for a little while longer.
Yeah, for gaming and stuff and work, that sort of stuff. It's more acceptable now. It was an oddity, but now, and it was all accepted. It was a bit fuzzy and it's not clear, but now the clarity is there. Still this big chunk of a box in front of your head and you look like a twat. But I think the AR stuff is coming.
Okay. All right.
The last thing I would say is I think this year is a year that we've had a few years of some big games, and we talked. Kim Min touched on it last week, mentioning about damn it. Oh yeah,
indies.
Xbox saying big games in the first quarter. I think this year is going to be a year of small developers and indie games, and that B or C class game. There's going to be some crackers this year because I don't think there's any really, really big juggernauts out there.
So let me ask you this. So as a prediction,
yes.
Would you say this is the year we see an indie dev game win Game of the Year at the VGAs?
Say, yeah, or being top 3 or top 2, you know, Game of the Year, you know, whether it be a Brothers or, you know, or something like that. It's
something
going to be
akin to that. Okay, all right.
I think that's and it's a really good opportunity for smaller devs to become more noticed, and especially when you hear people like that sliding off, you know, Mike Yara and Alan Adam from Blizzard. You know, they're either going to sit back and smile and buy a mini, or they're going to keep going.
Yeah,
keep being creative, and that's how guys like that are creative.
Okay.
So, there you go.
No, I like those predictions. I think those are pretty solid. Both of you guys have some really solid predictions. I'm going to try and do better myself this year. Ooh. Now, Robin, obviously, when you need to slip off, you slip off.
I got 10 minutes.
Yep.
Yes.
So I'm going to run through my predictions, and then we'll note this in the logs for next year. So I'm predicting Xbox will announce the next Gears of War game during their Summer Games event, and it will be slated for 2025. So it will not be that far off. Nintendo will officially unveil the Switch successor, which will launch this holiday. So Mark, you and I step in tow on this one. This is an interesting one. So during Sony's next big event, all of their first-party games will have a mention of a PC version. So it won't just be PS5 only. It'll be PS5 and PC. That might be a little tough to quantify, but I think Sony might. Basic premise here is Sony is moving into the same model Microsoft now has embraced, which is their first party is going to come out to PC. May not be day and date.
Oh, right, because they're day and date, yeah.
But it's going to be close.
Yeah.
I think they're going
to. Because at the moment, it's a year or two, isn't it?
Right. I think we're going to start seeing them just having months. So interestingly, and this is something we'll talk about likely next week when we get to it, but so they have their game Foam Stars coming out in early February. Also, Helldivers 2 comes out the same week as Foam Stars, and it's coming to not only PS5 but PC day and date.
Yeah, but so is that a first party or is that a third party title?
So that's the big question. Now, Sony is funding it, so I view it as first party.
Are they the same guys who did Dead Nation and Resogun?
Yes.
Housemarque.
Housemarque. I believe they're first party.
Very good developer.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah, they are first developer. Yeah.
So, Sony next big event that they do, we're gonna see this shift, and it will be really it'll be telling. And then lastly, my fun one, Discord is purchased by Microsoft. just to the dismay
Hey, it
of
could
Mark.
happen. Well, didn't Sony nearly bought them recently? There was rumours
did not
Sony was
know
going
this.
to buy it.
Huh?
About a year
Okay.
ago, yeah. But it
All
never
right.
happened.
Well, there we go. Those are our predictions. We will lock them into a vault. I've already copied these over, so we will we'll have them for next year, and
Yeah.
we'll see just how good or bad we were.
Oh.
Okay, we've got some new releases, Mark, coming up for next week. Let's go through some new releases.
Yeah, so we've got Death Stranding's director's cut on Mac and iOS. iOS runs Death Stranding. Wow. January 30th. Rugby 24, which is proper men's sport, not like that armoured wank ball. PlayStation
Easy.
5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC, January 30th. BlazBlue Entropy Effect. That's got to be some sort of Japanese shit on it. On PC, January 31st. Sorry for those who like it. Song of Nuna, a League of Legends story. More Japanese shit. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, 31st of January. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, PlayStation 5 and 4, and PC, February 1st. One Punch Man World, PC, iOS, and Android on 1st of Feb. Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Clash, PS5, Xbox X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on 2nd of Feb. Persona 3 Reload, PS5, Xbox X and S, PS4, Xbox One, and PC on 2nd of Feb. And I think Sony are pinning a lot on this game because I'm seeing a lot of adverts on TikTok for this. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, PS5, Xbox X and S, and PC, February 2nd. And finally, Vampire the Masquerade Justice is on PC on February 2nd.
All right.
What's the new releases?
I'm really curious to see how Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is received. That was the game that it was supposed to come out. They delayed it, and everybody was like, it looks horrible, it looks horrible. And then the previews came out, and a lot of people were positive on this game.
Right.
So
I've not really looked at any of it.
Kind of curious.
Yeah.
All right. Wednesday nights, cross your fingers. I will be back doing some either Halo or whatever.
Yeah, you've been missed.
Shooter Wednesday.
You've had a lot of people in the Discord saying you've been missed on Wednesdays and Fridays, Greg.
I
but we
have been
understand.
MIA.
We understand
It's
the reasons. Yeah.
just a lot of shit going
Yeah,
on,
yeah, yeah.
unfortunately. But so Wednesday nights, Bongo Racing. You've got a multitude of nights happening. Robin, real fast, go through them.
Yeah. Tonight is Bongo's Wheel of Fortune, starting at 9:30 this evening. 3 races chosen at random. Tuesday night is open practice for everybody. Thursday night we're racing at the Red Bull Ring for the first time as a large group, and then we're right round again, and it's Warriors is every 2 weeks. But there's people doing stuff every night. So
Love it. Then Fatal Fridays.
Yep.
Fridays, Mark.
Yeah.
You were helming this, so just look up for Marcanix. I hopefully will be able to join as well. And that should round out the play dates for the week. Let's do some shout outs and let's just call this a show. What do you say? If you've been so far on the show, watching, liking, subscribing, do all that stuff. We really do appreciate it. And actually, Robin, we'll have you do the shout outs to start off with. And let's give a shout out to the people that have been in the chat.
oh my goodness, there has been a lot of them tonight. From CP Matthew right through to Boomer. I'm sorry, Kim's not here. Kim's in the chat, but she doesn't count. Sarah, RCGC has been in there. And who else is in there? DeGamble 3. So yeah, lots of people. Lord was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Excellent.
good stuff. Excellent. Lots of people. Nice to have that interaction. It's really, really good. And speaking of John Merrick, just wanted to say hi to John Merrick. Hope the head gets better. And also Kim.
Hope the head gets better.
Yeah.
Mark?
Kim, feel better soon. I hope your face swelling goes down big time because you look like you just had a massive fucking punch up with Mike Tyson. And Gary DeFelice for talking me into buying Enshrouded. I am now hooked on it, so thanks for that, you bastard. That's 2 games I'm hooked on. And thanks for renting the server so we can all join together. So yeah, cheers Gary, big shout out to you. Listen to the Garcast. It's on there. They did resurrect the Lagcast and then it died off again because Gregarious has got other things on, but they are going to resurrect it again, so we'll see. I'll let you take us out, Greg.
Gary, I think you should rename that to the Zombie Cast. It just keeps coming back.
Yeah.
Shout out to burritos. I now I want a burrito. Thanks, Robin. Shout out to the two of you. Thank you for coming and joining me on this Sunday. Always lovely to speak to you guys. Shout out to the community and to football, a real football, the NFL Playoff Championship Week. Go 49ers. Go Baltimore Ravens. Fuck the Chiefs. Sorry, Kim. And shout out to my mom, just because. And shout out to your mom, Mark.
Thank you. Yeah.
Happy birthday,
Mom. Yeah.
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 All right, that's it.
again.
Let's get out of here. We got stuff to do.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast. See you same time next week.